Hi everybody, Candy here. And I thought I would do a video without Lily because I'm looking through right now on the comments and I'm thinking, these are going to be some long stories and I don't think she's going to want to sit through there. She'd probably just take the cat and walk off. So I thought maybe I would do my part where I answer some of the questions and then have another separate time for Lily and me to do some, where I ask her questions. I'll be the interviewer. So one of the things that you guys asked, I'm scrolling down the list right now, sorry if I'm looking off camera all the time. Okay, so let's start with something easy. Like, where did the name Melodora's Creations come from? The names Melodora's Creations came from, at the time, my internet online personality, because every time you play a game, I'm a gamer. So every time you play a game, you always have to create an account, and that account has to have a name, or a character has to have a name, and online, which was big at the time, you couldn't use the same name as somebody else, so your persona really had to be something that was unique. And I decided that I would make up. I just started messing around with different sounding sounds, and I came on Meladora. Sounded kind of cool. So I kind of went with that, and I started using that for everything. And my YouTube channel included. I had no idea I was going to do crochet, so I named it Meladora. When I did turn it into more of a business, I decided I would keep my YouTube channel because I already had my followers there. And so I just decided to keep it Melodora's Creations because I wasn't sure exactly if I would add other things into it or if it would just be crochet. But as time went on, you realize that you need to pick a thing, and so crochet was it, and that's what I've gone through forever. So that's how the name came about, because I'm a gamer, it was online, and I'm too lazy to change and lose my followers. Okay, trying to make the background a little bit better since this is the office, and all I have is the other computer behind me. Charles is on. This is mine. It's here because I get cold in here at night. So Lily's is here too. I put it over there. You can't see it. I guess it's the Riptide shawl. What or who inspired you to start your crochet YouTube channel? Well, I started to record my crocheted items that I had made, and there was some interest on how to do them because I was taking stitches and creating hats and things like that, and people started asking me, I think it was a bag that I made, that people were asking if I could make a tutorial and write a pattern on it. So I did that, and it wasn't the best, but I learned, and then I continued to try to create things and write it down how I did it and share it with others. So anyway, I continued to go along with that, and I just started to make more and more videos and getting better at it. And because I live in Israel and I can't speak the language, that was another question that somebody asked. So they read about me on my webpage, but did I ever learn how to speak fluent Hebrew? The answer is no, not even close. Hebrew is one of the hardest languages, I swear to God. Coming from where we speak, coming from English, from an English speaker's point of view, to speaking Hebrew. For a start, in English we don't give a sex to a word. So the word is a word, a bottle is a bottle. It's not a male or a female. It doesn't have genitals. It's just a bottle. But the words that you say have a male and female, and they will change the next word to follow it, depending on if it was male or female. Also, it changes the whole word if it's multiple. And not only that, but if it's a multiple females standing there, multiple males standing there, or if they're together. It's like, can't you just say a group of people? Ugh. Anyway, don't get me started. But I have learned a little. I mean, obviously, being here for, I don't know how long I've been here now, on the spot, 12 years or so. My daughter's 11. I've been here a year before her, so 12 years. And I have learned quite a bit. I would say maybe 250 words, something like that. But don't force me to put a sentence together. But if I know what's going on in a general sense, I can pretty much figure out what they're talking about. But I could never like hold a conversation in Hebrew. Not really, anyway. It would be broken, and I probably sound stupid. What is it like living in Israel? Does Lily go to school? Where do you buy yarn? I would love to know more about you both. Okay, well, what is it like living in Israel? I can answer that one. I'll leave the does Lily go to school thing to her, I guess, because that Lily in school is a whole thing. Where do you buy yarn? I actually I buy mainly from the same shop. It moved. I did a video on it a long time ago, and they moved, and I went over there and I did some footage of the shop, on the outside of the shop again. Sorry if it's really shaky. And I showed some of the yarn that was new. I actually got there on the day where she got all this new stuff up in the shelf, so they really look nice and full, and you got good footage of this yarn store on this day. Anyway, and the whole time I'm taking the video, she's talking to me about the the new stuff that's come in. Anyway, it's really cool. I got to see some yarn that I had not ever seen before. I don't know if you've seen yarn that looks like this and what it's for. Anyway, what's it like living in Israel versus where I lived in the United States? Because since being in Israel, I have learned that you cannot generalize things as like that. That was like something in the United States. I mean, you can never, on the end of your sentence, say that it's like this in the United States everywhere. Like the food is not the same, even the laws are not always the same. In general, they are obviously, like what side of the road we're on and our signs and things like that. But every state, I've learned, has its own thing. And where I come from in Oklahoma, it's more southern, so we really like our fried chicken and mashed potatoes and fried okra and hash browns and things, that they have never seen here. The food here is completely different. The food, and by the way, gravy is the one thing I really, really miss being able to get. And KFC. KFC is the number one thing I miss. They don't even have KFC or any kind of chicken place. It's all schnitzels here. There's no like chicken cooked on the bone. Unless it's like roasted or something like that. Not like KFC with all the crispy outside and all that. Nothing like that. I really miss that. Anyway, but being here, the food in Israel is different. They have something called shakshuka, which I love. And another thing they are big on is shawarma. I hope I'm saying that right. I always hope I'm saying that right. Shawarma. It's this big round, I don't know if you guys ever heard of gyros or if gyros even exist, but they had like lamb, and it was like on this meat roll that would slowly turn and cook. It's like exactly like that, except they use turkey. And they have some that they're starting to bring out chicken, pirot or something, baby chicken. Young chicken, but I love the turkey one, and that's the main one. And another big thing is they have everything in bread, like even the shawarma is in a pita or a lafa, what it's called, I hope. Lafa or lava, yeah, lafa. And they also have bakeries everywhere. Where I come from, walk anywhere. You always drive and go to the parking lot and then you get out. Israel's not that way. Israel's like the U.S. used to be a long time ago, where there was a bunch of stores, and even a bunch of stores in one area was a shopping center. But instead of it being a shopping center, it's actually the streets. It's like, I'll show footage where it's like you can see the rows of stores, and you can see how one is so different from the next to the next to the next. I definitely have some favorite ones. But another thing they love is, like I said, the bakeries are insane here. The bread is insane here. The dairy is insane here. All the dairy, the cottage cheese, the And I can't say versus the United States, like I said, only from where I'm from when I was in the United States, which I guess was about 12 years ago. So that U.S. In Oklahoma, the milk that we had was not, it was like 2% in the jug. And that is not what they have here. Most of it is cartons or bags. It's really awesome. The bread is really awesome. But the meat is something else. The meat that I had in the States was way better. It's because it's all kosher. Most things are kosher. They have a McDonald's, which I love, and they don't have a drive-through, so you always have to go in and find seating, but it's never really so busy. Very rarely it's that busy, and they make your food right then and then give it to you, so your fries are always fresh and everything is always fresh. It's awesome. I love that. I believe it's the same as the States too, the kind of food they offer. They don't offer anything special that I know of, and I can think off the top of my head. They don't have like falafel or anything like that, which is another huge thing in Israel, the falafels, the hummus. And yes, I'm saying hummus and not hummus, which my Lily is the one that's always teasing us about how we say that in the States. Hummus. Plina, which is also tahini, I think, in the Spanish way if they say it, is also big. That's different from where I come from. I come from very southern, like chicken gumbo, which I make here, my daughter loves. And I also brought hash browns with me. We make what we call big breakfast every Saturday, and we will make a big old batch in a pan of hash browns and then have eggs on the side. And there's no bacon. I mean, I could get bacon if I wanted to, but it's not not so important to me that I want to go out of my way to get it, is what I'm trying to say. Just eating healthier since being here in Israel. And the shawarma and like I was telling you before with the falafel and all that stuff comes with salads. Everything comes with salads. You can have fries on the side, but the fries is usually just a small amount along with everything else. The restaurants that are here, the meat that they serve, like the steak restaurants here are called like meat places. And it comes with a bunch of different salads. And okay, not the healthiest some of these salads. Like they have, was it eggplant? Yeah, eggplant. I never ate that before I came here. But they have, oh my God, the best. I think baba ganoush is the closest thing that they have. I'm not sure what they call it here in Israel, but it's not baba ganoush. But they have always salad on the sides, everywhere, always salads. And those restaurants are awesome here. I would miss that if I went back to the States. And that was another question somebody asked me. Do I have any plans to go back to the States? And right now the answer is no. I don't have any plans to move back to the States. My parents both died before I left Israel. And I met a man online. I'm a gamer. He's a gamer. And we met playing a game called City of Heroes. It's messed up because when I first met him on this game, it was on a U.S. server. I thought it was in the United States. He would always be around, and I was always making groups in City of Heroes. If you don't know City of Heroes, you have a team of 8, up to a team of 8. I always would start these groups, and he was always around, and I would always invite him. And through this, in time, him coming on every day, and we kind of got a group of us together. And there was several people that I liked to play with. And anyway, he was one of them. And anyway, in time, things developed, and I found out that he was from Israel, which really sucked because I'm thinking, how the hell are we ever going to be together? No way I'm ever going to go to Israel. Anyway, so from that we continued to, our relationship, and got the ticket, and I came out on a plane. And somebody asked me, this would be, I guess, the time to answer her question. I would love to hear your story and how you made the decision to move to Israel. How physically did you do it, such as just the clothes on your back and literally started from scratch? or did you have to have your stuff shipped? How did you find housing? How is it for an American to live there? Do you know the language? Love your crochet channel. Looking forward. That is Claudia. Thank you, Claudia, for that comment. By the way, thank you all for the comments. I should be saying names. What falls in line with what I was just saying about meeting the man online. And I decided to buy a ticket and go. Never been on a plane before. And now I'm going to be going to Israel for the first time. And about what did I have, just to close on my back? Pretty much, I had $300. I had 2 big suitcases. One pretty much just had my computer in it. And it was just the computer, nothing else. The connections, I think. By the way, that's the connections are different from the United States to here, so I had to buy an adapter. Anyway, so I had that. I had clothes, all the clothes that I think I would need for life. So I had basic clothes, and I had a few fancier clothes, and of course all the other stuff that you need, you know, for shampoo, stuff like that. But my shampoo got taken as soon as I got there, because you can't have, you know, liters of liquid in your bag. And I didn't know that, so bye-bye shampoo and conditioner. Anyway, so basically, yeah, I just had clothes. Oh, and important papers, like, you know, my passport, my birth certificates, license, you know, all that important papers. And that was it. I was going on faith that the man I had been talking to online, on video even, for almost a year, that he was who he said he was. And he was, obviously. I'm still here, I'm alive. We have kids, so though I don't recommend doing this to anyone else, though you know it happens, and especially now that the world is more and more connected, you know that more and more people are going to meet online, and unfortunately there are going to be some crazy people out there too, and there are. And I would just say to make sure that you are 100% sure that this person is who they say they are. If you have any kind of reservations at all, don't go through with it. And for me, I didn't. I really truly believe that he was who he said he was. And if not, then he fooled me completely, and then I'm just gonna, I guess, die. But yeah, I gave it everything. And no, I didn't get anything shipped. So that was it. What I had was what I had. He had housing. He had rented a small little apartment, very small, in one room, and a little kitchen on the side and a bathroom, and that was it. And he just had basic stuff in there. Because when we first met, he was living with his parents. Whenever we decided we were going to make a go of it, he had to find a place for us to come, because he wasn't going to let me come and go to his parents' house. So he had to find something, and that's what he found. I think it was usually owned by, usually college kids rent these small places, because there really isn't anything to it. It's not any kind of apartment or home. It's just, like I said, it's a small kitchen and bathroom and a big room, big area. And so we only stayed there a year, and he wouldn't rent us longer than that. But we found an even better place, which was awesome, because I was pregnant with Lily. And that went on, I guess, to another story. Hey guys, so it's the next day, and I'm going through the vlog and starting to edit it out and realizing, wow, I have a lot of footage. And you know, I just loosened up and started talking, and so a lot of stuff came out. I had to edit it out, but even still, with that much editing, I still had, like, I think 18 minutes or something like that. I was just like, cut it. So I figured that I would just leave it the way it is. Just add this little ending onto it to let you guys know why it was so abrupt, why I didn't say goodbye. Because actually my video camera ran out of space, and I had to empty it, and then I planned to come back, and I didn't. I still plan on doing a thing with Lily, something separate, and I'm going to announce the winners there as well. I've already given the winners their presents or prizes. They're not waiting. It's just the announcement. I'm going to let Lily do that, because she wants to do that. And I will possibly, if you want in the future for me to make another video like this where I'm talking about stuff and be answering some of the questions that didn't get answered, then leave a comment down below. Let me know if you want to see and hear me do vlogs like this again in the future. If I get enough people that are commenting yes and liking the video, then I'll do another one. If not, then I'll stop the rambling on and I'll not do another one. So it's up to you guys. If you want to see more of my ramblings, then ask more questions underneath this video, and I will add that to the questions I answer on the next video, and maybe even the ones that I didn't get to answer, because there was a few I still wanted to answer that I didn't get time to answer. So I will do that. So that's it, guys. It's in your hands. So look forward to the next video that me and Lily are going to be in. I'm going to interview her. I'm going to try to find out all the questions that I can think of and that she can think of. It's definitely not going to be as long as that blah 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 lecture stuff I was doing before. It's going to be a shorter video, but hopefully it'll be a funner video because it'll be Lily in it. And that's it, guys. Stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching.